Diecast Norbs is a channel devoted to the teen to adult toy collector, pop culture fans, and fellow nerd enthusiasts. This is a PG-13 channel. I might say some shit. Viewer and parental discretion is advised. Hello everyone out there, far and wide, welcome back to the channel. It's time for an episode of Diecast Norbs Galactic Hooligan. And I'm really happy to see you all back here once again. I appreciate you all for joining me after this long hiatus, but I think I'm actually starting to feel at home, and this is actually great. You notice that we've actually just gotten all of this up and everything like that, like the new display case and everything. Not really that much of a difference from the white version of this, but it's actually darker and cooler now, And I'm really happy that you're actually able to join me. Thank you for everything, and I'm glad that you're here, and I hope that you actually love this new purple setup and everything like that. More Decepticon-y than anything else, but still an Autobot at heart. There we go. And again, welcome. Now, as you all know, I've actually been perusing every place trying to find slag. My slag is actually still out there. You know he's going to be my favorite Dinobot of all time, But seeing how I haven't found him yet or anything like that, please, somebody tell me where my slag is. European people, remember, keep it classy, everybody, But since I haven't found him at all or anything like that, I did come across something else. As I was perusing the aisles, I found Cybertronian mode Bumblebee. I've actually been dying to check this little dude out. Everyone that's actually been telling me anything about him has actually told me that he's actually a really great little figure and everything. So I can't wait to pop him out of the box. Right now, the only chagrin that I actually have for this is there's no cellophane over here, Hasbro and Takara, what the hell, I don't want anybody touching my figures or anything like that with their grimy fingers or anything like that, But aside from that, he looks cool so far, so I can't wait. This is going to be my first time checking him out with you guys. So sit back, grab a snack, relax, and welcome to the show. If you haven't already, please help me by obliterating the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. That actually helps me out, feed my algorithm monster. And now, I'm getting ready to crack this open and see exactly what he brings us. Take a trip with me, everyone. Back in 1984, when all things were good, we actually had a world of giant robots, of giant autonomous thinking robots that lived and breathed and everything, And we actually had a plight between the heroic Autobots and the evil Decepticons, a plight that would actually take them over to today. Now, we actually had a lot in the way of Cybertronian modes and everything, I think Hasbro and Takara has actually kind of spoiled us, the spoiled children that we are right now and everything, you know what I mean? And I loved everything that we actually got from Siege and everything that we actually got from Earthrise, but one thing we've never gotten was an Earthbound Bumblebee until now. And finally, we're actually getting an Origin Bumblebee that's actually for his first appearance in the Transformers cartoondom and everything. I love the fact that we're actually finally getting this little bug spaceship looking thing and everything like that actually transforms into this. Again, everyone has actually been telling me some stellar things. So, here we go. So, in unwrapping this guy already, and I'm just going to make a remark about Hasbro's packaging. But of course, they're actually reducing their carbon footprint and everything. And they're actually giving us these strings right over here that are actually all made out of paper. So I think this is actually kind of like more of a cardboard string than anything else. And I think that actually is pretty amazing. As much as I really want them to still keep with the box protective insert here and everything to like actually keep people's hands on fingers off of these things, especially in the days of COVID and everything like that, I know it's actually more of a respiratory disease and everything, but at the same time, I still would love to like make sure that my figures are actually kept as pristine as possible. Because as a collector, and this is actually this is more of a collector's piece, I just think it should warrant like this much more protection more than anything else, don't you? Taking a look at Bumblebee himself, he is a really, really impressive little figure. I am really loving everything about this guy, especially the fact that we actually have this great yellow going on here. Like, that's what was actually missing from Bumblebee all along, was this just crazed yellow here and everything. I love it. I don't know how much you can actually make out of Bumblebee here or anything like that, but like that stark difference with like the yellow as compared to his Earthrise mode. And I'll bring that guy in here right now for you. I love that. Like, this is nice. It's a good comparison actually between what was and what is now, So as far as Bumblebee is actually concerned, his Cybertronian mode can probably stay yellow, but like when you actually get down to Earth, you probably have to like change the color scheme altogether and everything. So, and he looks like a lot more serious and everything like that. So like, I guess that's actually kind of like, and this is the Netflix version. So of course he's actually gonna like look a lot more serious, a lot more stoic than anything else. But this guy, I love this face. Like, look at this. He actually really does look like all the fun that the Earthrise version of B is missing is actually right in here. Look at that face right there. I kind of wish that the eyes were actually a little bit more well done than anything else, because I don't know how well you can actually see this over here, but it looks like mine actually got the misfortune of having like a couple of blocks over here that were actually kind of like out, and I'm not exactly sure like how well I'm actually going to be able to get in here with an X-Acto knife to fix that, But aside from that, that is a fun face. I love that. Like, they even got Bumblebee smiling here. He's happy again, everybody. He's happy again. Look at this. This sculpted detail is great. I'm loving this for the front grille and everything. That's very, very cool. I love the fact that they actually put that there. And it's not a faux grille, I love that. Kind of wish that they could have actually put like the window of like an actual window over here or something, right? Breaking up a couple of like parts and everything like that instead of like having it painted. That much I'm actually like not liking as much or anything. Also, when you actually have this canopy over here, again, they're actually doing the same thing by like taking like plastic and like painting it yellow and everything. And again, for the longevity of your figures, I never know exactly what to expect out of this or anything, because like every so often you hear the horror stories of clear plastic breaking and everything, and then sending like some like deranged fan into a tizzy and everything like that. I just really hope that this actually stands the test of time and everything. Aside from that, he's actually pretty cool though. I really like this. This is actually just like, this is actually just like a really great little Bumblebee, He's got everything. He's got Moxie. He's actually got like a 360 for his head turn and everything. I'm gonna see if we can actually transform this guy with his head turn, because it looks like we can, and everybody keeps on like doing this with the face facing down and everything, and that bothers me. But like, here we go. We actually have a hinge joint, a universal hinge joint right over here at the shoulders. He actually comes with a 360 right over here by his bicep. He actually curls a lot better than 90 degrees. Kind of wish he actually had like another arm panel over here though. I think they could have actually added that in. He has no wrist articulation except for the down dude's transformation. He actually has a 360 right over here, although when you actually turn his waist, it actually does break up and everything, you know, due to like where the pin is actually set off in his body and everything. So there we are. We actually have a kick up a little bit less than an L. He can go all the way back. If you actually move his kibble a little bit, he can actually go back even further. Does he do straight up Kung Fu? He does straight up Kung Fu, son. Look at that. He actually does have like a pretty good roundhouse and everything. I like it. And he actually has a little bit under 90 degrees for his knees. He's got thigh rotation, as all good toys should. He actually has an ankle pivot and a little bit of dorsey and some flexion. So that's actually kind of impressive. I was actually kind of surprised about that, but that's probably more due to transformation. This guy is actually pretty genius. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. We're just gonna give him a quick comparison with Earthrise Bumblebee, Siege Wheeljack, Siege Optimus Prime, and Siege Sideswipe. Now, Bumblebee does come with a few accessories that'll actually include this jetpack, these energy pylons here and everything, you know, that was actually used in the first episode and only the first episode of Transformers. There we go. And his gun here. I really love this little pistol, by the way. I think this is actually super, super awesome. I love the way it's actually modeled. And you could actually pretty much use this with your Earthrise Bumblebee all together and everything, you know? I love this. I kind of wish that they kind of like stopped leaving these things so hollow on the inside over here or anything. But it's nice. It's a really tight fit into his hand and everything, though. Like when you actually first get it in there, you're actually going to notice that you'll actually have to like kind of like force it in there for like a little while and everything. I got it in, no stress marks whatsoever or anything, but it's actually cool. Also, this jetpack over here, kind of like harkening back to his time on Dinobot Island and everything. You can actually use it for his backpack altogether. That's nice. That's nice, and it's also supposed to be FX compatible and everything like that, and so is his gun. I wondered if he can actually use it on this version of Bumblebee, because as you all know, I actually did make a flight pack on mine, and I'm thinking that the wheels are actually going to get in the way here. Let us see what we shall see here. And yeah, the wheels actually do get in the way, but it's actually still doable. So if you actually wanted to give this version of Bumblebee like the flight pack and everything like that, it's really not too bad. The wheels actually kind of like hold on the inside and everything like that, and I think if you actually smushed it down a little bit more and everything, it gives you a better fit. So not too shabby at all or anything like that. So it's actually something you actually can do if you really wanted to, you know? Very cool. I like that. Also, for those of you who are curious about Sideswipe and him being able to use the backpack, it's doable, but it actually really hangs a little bit too low on his back. So you'll actually get something more like this. And on Earthrise Prime, it is actually doable also, but it actually it winds up being like a little bit too small for his back and everything, even though it actually does kind of fit. And also, you'll actually have to fight with the wheels in the back and everything if you don't take the wheels off or anything like that, like some people actually do. I don't do that. But like, you know, as far as that jetpack and everything, it's nice, it's pretty universal and everything, and it's a good addition to this character here and everything. I really like the fact that they actually did put that in here. So it's nice. Although I do wish it weren't as hollow, it's still nice that they actually added it. And for these energy rods here, it would be nice if we actually had like a Cybertron wheeljack to go along with this whole entire scheme and everything. But I like these a lot, even though we actually only had like a one-time use in the series and everything. It's still nice that they actually included that. And I love, like, I don't know if you can actually make it out or anything, what I'm actually showing you, but they're like little like gold specks that are actually in here. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus here. Yeah, there are little gold specks that are actually in here and everything, which actually kind of like makes this kind of like a lot more enjoyable and everything. I think they're actually kind of cool. Although you're gonna, admittedly, I don't think you're actually gonna be able to get like a whole lot of use out of these unless you can actually use them in say like the art or something like that. You know, I don't think that you can even use this in any one of the Titans. Actually, you know, I was actually thinking Omega Supreme and everything. It was coming at Fortress Maximus. No, I don't know if you can actually use these at all unless you actually use the Spirits of Imagination. You know, but they're cool nonetheless, and it's actually a good addition. All right, ready for transformation. Now, I've actually been checking out a couple of reviews on this guy and everything just to see like what might be entailed in the transformation and everything. I'll tell you one thing, there's one little piece over here that I don't like, and I always feel as though it's actually gonna fall off, and that's this little ball joint thing right over here. But let's see if I could actually get like a good transformation in this guy. Okay, now I always see everyone else actually just leaving the head like right down to the bottom and everything like that. I think he's a robot in disguise, so let's make sure we turn the head. Then we're going to take his backpack, move it up like this, and snap this in here. Now remember, this is actually going to be clear translucent plastic that's actually been painted over, so your mileage may vary. Just be careful of that. Then we're just gonna put the hands into his forearms. Then we're going to rotate his waist, and that's one of the things that I think I actually missed the first time and everything like that, but I digress. I'll keep continuing, and then we are going to move his feet out. It's gonna accordion on two joints right over here and over here. Just bring that down, then swing this piece right out like so. Once we actually have this foot in position, then what we actually want to do is take this right over here and this right over here. Now remember, these are actually done on a couple of hinge pegs and everything. So while you're transforming him, you may just tend to slip it out of the joints altogether. But once you actually get it all together, you could actually peg this right over here, and you should actually have it in something of this configuration right here. That'll actually make one of the wings, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Lift this. Once we actually have this in this configuration, just bring down the foot on these double hinges and bring this out on one hinge, and make sure that this little piece right over here goes right underneath this piece. So we're just going to shimmy that in, and then there we go. Looking good so far. And bring that out, and I think that we can, let's bring this piece right out here and get that ready for the major part of the transformation. That'll actually be the front hood. We'll bring these arms in right over here, and they actually have a peg that goes right into, you can see this slot right over here, and this will go right in here. So just let's get this over here, and there we go. Perfect. And now I think that we're going to, let's see, bring this over here, and there we go. I think there we are, and that will actually make up the back of the jet or the cybercar. And we'll bring this over here, and we'll nestle all of that goodness right in here. Now remember, this little piece goes right in the back over here and gets into a peg and a hinge there, and then there we go. And nice. And now we'll bring all of this in and solidify the transformation, and bring the hood up and into the body, and make sure everything is nicely solidified. Also, make sure that these feet are actually under here, and then they actually go, there are a couple of pegs that are actually right under here, so you just want to make sure that those actually hold as well. And there we go. And as magically as that, we have Cybertronian mode Bumblebee, and he is very, very cool. I dig this so much. You might want to finagle around with this here and everything a little bit, because I'm not sure if it's because of my turned head here. So here are my thoughts as I was actually transforming him and everything, and I couldn't really quite get anything like fitted in here. It looked like everything was actually coming out, and as soon as I turned the head again, and everything seemed to actually fit right where it was actually supposed to. So I'm actually thinking that these guys are actually getting damn-founded mathematical here and everything with everything that they were actually doing, and it looks like they actually fit everything exactly where it was actually supposed to go. Now this piece over here keeps on being a little fiddly for me, but let's continue. Now I love this so much. This is actually so cool. It's actually great to like see a Cybertronian mode Bumblebee, and I think that Hasbro and Takara actually caught this a lot better than some of the third-party companies and everything. So still, Hasbro and Takara are actually like really just throwing down the gauntlet when it actually comes down to these figures. They go Cybertronian mode Bumblebee and Earth mode Bumblebee, and you know, just like I love that the before and after, you know, just very, very cool. I am just like loving these figures all together, you know. Size-wise, they compare pretty well at everything. Like it looks like Bumblebee over here is actually kind of like more of a bigger deluxe figure and everything, even though it's actually mostly panels and everything that's actually making everything up here, you know. Just give you a little bit of the underside of the auto modes. So they're very, very cool. I'm loving everything here. And I'm just going to give you one more size comparison that should be the best of all the size comparisons. And there goes Cybertronian mode Bumblebee with Cybertronian mode Prime. And just to give them a little bit more of a matching thing and everything like that, to make them both hover cars, let's just do this thing. There we are. And there we go. And they actually match so well together. You know, it's always nice to see like a Bumblebee and a Prime together and everything, kind of like the Batman and Robin of Cybertron and everything. I really think that this is actually so great, and I'm loving the fact that we actually have just like a Cybertronian mode Bumblebee and everything to like actually complete your collection even more so. Is Hasbro and Takara really looking forward to, are they really looking to finally complete like an 84 to 86 line and everything? This Bumblebee actually kind of tells me, yeah, it looks like they actually are. So I'm actually wondering what's actually going to come up next in the Transformers line and what like the next big deal is actually going to be, you know? Right now we're actually getting Beast Wars and everything coming along in our Transformers and everything, you know? So it seems like they're actually trying to like throw in something for everyone right now. But this Bumblebee is actually great. If you wanted to weaponize your Bumblebee, I think that you can actually kind of like put his pistol right over here. There we go, and like that should actually do it. So that's actually kind of cool as far as weaponization actually is actually concerned. And can you actually put the jetpack on here? Feasibly, yeah. Will it make him go any faster? I don't know. But it's actually cool nonetheless. I think it's actually kind of quirky and everything. Welcome to the quirky world of transformation and Transformers, everyone. But very cool. I love that. In any case, final thoughts in just a moment. In this vast world of transforming robots, I kind of feel like it's nice to see that instead of like regurgitating one of the older molds and everything, it's nice to see that Hasbro and Takara actually did a really fresh take on something old in Bumblebee here and everything. I really do think that this was actually something that's sorely missing out of your collection and everything. And if you haven't gotten him, I really think he's actually worth the look-see. He's a fun little dude. He really, really is. Now, all I need is my slag. Where is he, Hasbro? Where is he? but I digress. This guy's great. One thing about this guy is that I love, well, a few things about this guy. I love his presentation. I love the fact that he actually comes with a backpack and everything like that. I think that his articulation is actually very, very cool. So if you actually do get this guy, I think he's actually really worth it. I'm actually giving him a GR8 because he is pretty great, and I think that he's actually just really worthy of anybody's collection, especially if you actually have the older version Siege collection. He fits in super nicely, or he will fit in super nicely with all of your Siege collection. And I think, really, you know what I think? I think he's actually totally worth it. Go get him. And that is it for me today. I really appreciate you all for joining me once again. I know that I've actually taken a long hiatus and everything this time around. I promise you the videos may come a little bit easier and everything now that I've finally gone into into a new place and everything, you know. And thanks for joining me on my voyage and everything. I really appreciate that. And always remember two things. Remember that the Galactic Hooligan says that kindness is actually the most gangster thing that you can actually do. Be kind to everyone out there. Make sure that kindness is actually paid forward for each and every person that you actually meet out there, including yourself. Treat yourself with love, respect, and kindness. And also, when these stop being magical, that's when I'll stop collecting. Take care, everyone. I will definitely talk to you soon.